Okay, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Review Godot's key concepts. I have an idea. Right. Cool. I have an idea. I want another display capture. I can't have two display captures? Okay, I can. This one. This. Hello? No, that's me. Why can't I? Okay, I think I understand what's happening. I think if I get another display capture. Yeah. This transform fit to screen. Do that. How could I do that so it looks good? Because that looks kind of stupid, right? Yes, I could just put it to the side. Right. Can anyone even see what's happening there? Guess if I zoom it big time. I mean, that works. That works, right? Maybe a little bit bigger. Above it. That works, right? Okay. Alright. Godot. Godot. Am I live? I am. Cool. Every game engine revolves around abstractions you use to build your applications. A game is a tree of nodes that you group together into scenes. You can then wire these nodes so they can communicate using signals. Myro, yeah, here it is. Okay, Myro lights. 24 hours. Sure. Okay. So, it's made of a tree of nodes shit So I guess it's made up like this, that you group together. This is a scene. To scenes. You can then wire these nodes. Oh, so I guess it's more like node, 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 node. Right? Node, 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 node. Right, so here we have node, 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 another node, node, node again. It's a lot of nodes. And then here we have a scene, and here I guess we have another scene here, and this whole thing is yet another. I guess that's how it works. The scene. You can then wire these nodes so they communicate using signals. Okay. Alright, I guess that makes sense. There are 4 concepts you will learn here. We're going to look at them briefly to give you a sense. Start a series, you'll get to use them in practice. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, sure. In Godot, you break down your game in reusable scenes. Scene can be a character, a weapon, a menu, the user interface, a single house, an internet level, anything you can think of. That's cool. Godot scenes are flexible. They fill the role of both prefabs and scenes in some other engines. So this is a scene. This is another scene. Main menu. Oh, this is a scene which encompasses all these. These are nodes. You can also nest scenes. For example, you can put your character in a level and drag and drop a scene as a child of it. Game, which, okay, so the game is a scene, the level is a scene inside the game, the player is also a scene inside the level, which is inside the game. There's a hook, scene as a child of it. Nodes. A scene is composed of one or more nodes. Nodes are your game's smallest building blocks that you arrange into trees. Here's an example of it. Okay, so this is not possible. This right here, not possible. This is what, okay, I got that completely wrong. Alright, fine. Here's an example of characters and nodes. Okay, so this is a scene. The player is a scene. The player character is a scene, and has the camera 2D node, sprites node, and collision box shape 2D node. Okay, it is made of a character body 2D node named player. Wait, so player is a node? Player is. Wait, what? Nodes are a game's smallest building blocks. It is made of a character body 2D node named player. But how is camera sprite and collision box childs of the player node if nodes are the smallest building blocks? Okay, whatever. So no, player isn't a scene, it's a node. So here it's a node and not a scene. Character in a level. The node name is end with 2D because this is a 2D scene. The 3D counterparts have names that end with 3D. Okay, you aware that spatial nodes are now called node 3D. Notice how nodes and scenes look the same in the editor. When you save a tree of nodes as a scene, oh my gosh, it then shows a single node with its internal structure hidden in the editor. Okay. For this library of base nodes types, you can combine and extend to build more powerful ones, 2D, 3D, or user interface. You'll do most things with these nodes. Windows, subview board, node, animated sprites, audio listener, audio stream player, back buffer, collision object, back buffer. The scene tree. All your game's scenes come together in the scene tree. Okay, so this whole thing is the scene. These are nodes. And those are like, okay, all your game scenes come together in the scene tree, literally a tree of scenes. So this isn't this, dude, I'm gonna lose my shit. This isn't the scene then. It says scene, but these are all scenes because it's a tree of scenes. Dude, what? And as scenes are trees of nodes, that makes sense. The scene tree also is a tree of nodes. Okay, sure. But it says to think of your games in terms of scenes as they can represent characters, weapons, doors. Okay, signals. Nodes emit signals when some event occurs. So it's the design, the philosophy is like event driven. Hardwiring them in code. Yeah, it's event driven. That's cool. That's really cool. Version of the observer pattern. Yeah, yeah, that's really good. For example, button you press, you can so basically, yeah, you can connect a piece of code to this signal, which will run in reaction to the 7 events. Yeah, that's really good. Two objects are collided when a character or monster enters a given area, and much more. Cool. Nodes, scenes, the scene tree, the signals occur for door concept. Yeah, I didn't get shit from this. Signals, yeah, sure. Nodes, yeah, sure. Scenes, though. I still don't know what a scene is. Yeah, nodes are your game's smallest building blocks, but here we see that we are told that player is a node, but yeah, it can. Alright. After this short break, I don't have many questions. I do. Bear with us. No. Next, okay. First look at Godot's interface. Please will give you a brief overview of Godot's interface. Interface and how to use it. Editor manual. Cool. Project manager. We're right here. Full projects tab. You can manage existing projects. At the top of the window, there is another tab named Asset Library. It is indeed. Go online. Ow. First time you go to this tab, you go online. Privacy reason. That's nice. That's nice, actually. Settings menu. That looks nice. Kebab case. I want camel case. Oh, that directory. Okay, yeah. Kebab cases. Sure. Kebab case. What the fuck? I never had that. Settings menu. Okay. Here. Yep. Using the project menu. Okay, so I guess we're making a new project. I guess we won't yet. Sure. Main menu, workspace switching, buttons. Okay, yep. Playtest buttons, yep. Okay, yes, okay. Press buttons and movie maker mode. Yes, indeed. Buttons, the open scenes as tabs are seen. Plus button right next to the tabs. Add a new scene to the project. Okay. Selector is the viewport with its toolbar at the top. 3D workspace is active. Okay. Based on the context, selected node. Here's the 2D toolbar. Below is the 3D one. Okay. 5 main screens. Do we see that now? Sure. Can work with meshes, lights, design levels for 3D games. Okay. Wasn't adjusting in real time. Yo, nice. Note that this is for testing how adjustments would work. Any changes made here are not saved when the game stops running. Wait, what? The game screen is where your project will appear when running. Do they mean by this, are they referring to this? Yeah, I guess they are. Okay. Code editor, debugger, reach auto completion. Okay, nice. Built-in code reference. Cool. What's going on? Alright. In projects, asset library, asset lib. Okay. Built-in class reference is for information about a class, method, property, constant, signal. F1 anywhere in the editor. Search help. Can you help me? Okay. A window pops up. Type to search for any item. Nice. Nice. Clicking while pressing Control key on the class name function name or built-in variable in the script editor. It's fucking sick, dude. Okay. This is the docs. Now the bottom of the window lies the bottom panel. Let's look at the docs. The file system, the project files, including scripts, images, audio, samples, and more. Okay. Temp. Dummy. Dummy project. Forward plus. None. Yeah, sure. Just so I can follow here. Follow along. Okay, file system is right here. Alright. This is a 2D script game. No main scene has ever been defined. And asset leave. Sure. Now the file system doc icon. Okay. Scenes doc is actually scenes node. Yeah. The inspector allows you to edit the properties of the selected node. Right. Inspector doc. That can be customized. Bottom panel. Yes. Debug console. Animation editor. Oh wow. Audio mixer and more. Okay, nice. Explains vertically. Below you can see the animation editor opened. Indeed. Shown or hidden using shortcuts, editor settings, shortcuts, bottom panel. We already read through that. That's nice. What you already know is the user manual. It documents each of the engine's concepts and available features when learning a new topic. Start by browsing the corresponding section of this website. The left menu allows you to explore broad topics, while the search bar will help you find more specific pages. If a page exists for a given theme, it will often link to a more related content. Okay. Yeah, that's what we saw earlier. F1 3D node. Get parent 3D, node 3D, get node 3D. Nice. Okay. Wait. Let's get world 2D. Returns the world 2D. This node is registered to. Get viewports. Global rotate. Rotates the node's global basis around the global axis by a given angle. And radius. Operation is calculated in global space relative to the world and preserve the global position. Global scale. High prevents this node from being rendered, equivalent to setting visible to false, the opposite of show. Okay. So how do I close this? Go 3D properties, methods, signals, visibility change. Enumerations. Okay. Alright, I see. Close this. Oh, I'm in script. Oh. Yeah, I'm in script. Okay. If I do this, I get it now. Alright, cool. Online, yep, sure. Class exists in the inheritance hierarchy. Jump, parent class and seed properties and methods type inheritance. Capture by 2D, actually 3D. I'm going to be working with 3D. Object. Okay, so its parent class is object. Motion mode. Filter. There is no notion of floor or ceiling. Collision will be reported as on wall. Slide. The speed will always be constant. Oh. Apply when notions of wall, ceiling, and floor are relevant. In this mode, the body motion. Games like platformers. Only add velocity. Only add upwards velocity. Only do nothing. And so if I go to node, okay, so then shit, node, this is node 3D. So a lot of them inherits from object node. Everything on the glass. Nice. Unreal Engine should really take this as an example. Control and then also a text like the name of platform. What? So ShareX is pretty nice. ShareX is really nice actually. Okay. Design philosophy. Every game engine is different and fits different needs. For a range of features, but the design of such each engine is unique. There's a set of workflows, getting we understand how Godot works, starting with some of its core pillars. It's still working. Not list of available features, it's comparison, object-oriented design and composition. Cool. For one, Godot lets you compose or aggregate scenes like nested pre-fantasy, blinking light scene, and a broken lantern scene. Wait, what? Godot lets you compose an can create a blinking light scene and a broken lantern scene that uses the blinking light. Or the lantern, and it uses, yeah, it's classic. Like, yeah, it's a class. It just uses the other object. It's an object, yeah. And then create a CD filled with broken lanterns, so the lights are inside, change the blinking light's color, save, and other. Yeah, that's amazing, of course. On top of that, you can inherit from any scene. Godot scene could be a weapon, a character, an item, a door, a level, part of a level, anything you like. It works like a class in pure code, except you're free to design it by using the editor. Yeah. It works like a class in pure code, using only the code, mixing and matching the two. It's nice. It's different from prefabs you find in several 3D engines that you can then and extend those scenes. You may create a magician that extends your character. I'm not comfortable with inheritance. It extends the character, so it's the character with more stuff, right? Modify the character in the editor, and the magician would update as well. Okay, so it inherits from the wait, move, jump, cast, focus, slash, rush. Okay. Game design. It's like Godot offers many different types of objects called nodes, each with a specific purpose. So now if I open it, okay. Just trying to understand how it works. Hotkey settings. Capture region, entire screen, active window alt. Control. No. Is it right control? Okay, cool. Although the engine does feature some nodes like collision shading, each with a specific purpose, not a part of the tree, and always inherit from their parents up to the node class. Although the engine, so it's like the actor. It's like an actor class in Unreal. Collision shapes and parent physics body use. Most nodes work independently from one another. The components in some other game engines. Okay, sure. Sprites 2D. The 2D, not 2D. Canvas item in a node. Oh, it has all the properties and features of its parent class. To draw custom shapes and render with a custom shader, all-inclusive package. Tools to understand most commonly used are dedicated scripting workspace, an animation editor, tile map editor, shader editor, debugger, profiler, and manipulative locally and remote devices. Nice. Change user experience and web design. Okay, this is also partly why Godot offers its own programming language. These scripts. I'm actually going to install Photoshop now. Photoshop now! I need to do this. Oh. Need to do this real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah. Be right back, guys. Be right back. Don't enable. Man, what the fuck? So I wanted someone Photoshop. Yeah. Photoshop setup.exe. exe. Sure. Don't show all my information. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why would I want that? You're going to install something of this sort anyways, but okay. Optimized for gameplay code with built-in types like vectors and oh, vectors as in, oh, that's nice. Like 3D space vector? Like a vector of coordinates? This is really nice. Note that with GD extension you can write high performance with C++. Tools for the need of that project, it just won't ship with the engine. Okay. So Google AdMob or FMOD, you know, this can come with some projects. Okay. True. Nice. Yeah, we get it. Okay. No way. Yo, that's really fucking cool, dude. What happened? My taskbar just crashed. Is this open source? Someone needs to fix this. The base you need for 2D scenes is pixels, without the engines. Like 2D sprites and interface. Okay. Cool. Oh, there's a scene, got your first class, it's VGD script, there's signals to make nodes, no. What? What? What do you mean there was an error loading fucking fonts, dude? How do you... Where's the... I already showed it anyway, so... It says cancel, but... 100%. Do I not have any internet? Do I not have any internet? ¿Por qué no internet? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no internet? Oh! Are we back? Okay, we back. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what the fuck is going on. My connection keeps going in and out, 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 in and out. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Let an image, play a sound, represent a camera in much mode. Okay, a name, editable properties. You receive callbacks and to update every frame. You can extend the window properties and functions. as a child. The last characteristic. Okay. When you organize nodes in a tree like a character, we call this construct a scene. Scenes work like new node types, which you can interact more. Okay. Which you can interact more. Okay. Scene dock on the left shows several options. Scene dock on the left shows several options. 2D scene adds a 2D node. Yeah. Label. Okay. Explain the plain text. It gives you control of the horizontal vertical alignment. Okay, a lot happens when you add a scene's first node. The 2D workspace, because label is a 2D node type, the label appears selected in the top left corner of the viewport. Hello world! What a classic, dude. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. Inspector and the top. On the dock are the file and navigation buttons. Indeed they are. Create a new resource in memory and edit it. From left to right opens a new window to select and create a resource in the memory and edit it. Turn the file system to edit. Okay, set the currently edited resource to disk. Okay. Edit resource from clipboard by pasting the copy resource to clipboard shown file system. Already saved. Okay, it's not saved, I guess. Make resources built in. So work in a built-in source resource, not the one from the disk. So the edited object history. Okay. Cool. Let's see, item opens the history list for quick navigation. Cool. Icon is name and the quick button to open his documentation on the right side. Oh, that's nice. Icon, name, and yeah. Search bar. Type anything you need to filter display properties. Delete the text to clear the search. This search is case sensitive, insensitive, and also searches letter by letter as you type. For instance, if you type VSB, visibility. Oh, that's nice. The tool button next to the filter bar. It is worth mentioning that you actually see below it in how it is structured. Class section properties. Properties are grouped inside their respective classes and sections. The properties. You can also open the documentation of each class by right-clicking on the classes that open documentation. So let's say we are looking at layout. All control, canvas item, node, open documentation. Okay, cool. So these are classes, sections, properties. Cool. Drop down. You can right click on a property and copy or paste its value. Say well, text, copy value, paste value. Cool. The description. Display on screen. Cool. Oh, it can be called inside the script, can you? Get mouse filter with override. Get input. Nice. You can directly manage the result values by clicking, typing, or selecting from the menu. If the property is a number or slider, you can keep your mouse left button pressed and drag to change the value. If another property is a sub-resource, you can click on the down arrow to pick a resource type or load one using the quick load or load options. Only the supported resource can be dragged in from the file system. If highlighted, simply drop it in the properties value. After loading a sub-resource, you can click on it to see its properties and adjust them. The values with different values than their original value can revert icon. Clicking on this icon reverses the original value state. So its original state values are linked with each other. Chain icon, and changing one will change other as well. You will unchain them by clicking on this icon. Cool. If you are changing a property a lot, send the favoriting by clicking and choosing favorite property. Still show favorite property. Tool menu. If you click the tool menu, it connects to the filter bar. Drop down the menu. Note that we have a better understanding of the term. We can proceed with the tool menu. If you click, here it is. View and edit options. Expand all. Expands all sections, showing everything. Collapse all. Expand on default. Expand the section value. With the original value is different than the current value. How is this different? How is layout different? One change. Where? Okay, sure. All properties, property name style, the section name and other properties text is displayed in the inspector. Properties, page properties make sub-resource unique. A duplicated node shares the sub-resources of the original node. Changing one parameter of the sub-resource in one node affects the other node. So it makes, instead of being a copy, it's like a separate object, separated from other nodes, yeah. Actually, you will also see these in the inspector in the first image in this section. Cool. You can move your label node in the viewport by selecting it. Indeed, I can. Label that. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. How cool is that? F8. Cool. Wait, here's another button? Okay, this one's the currency. Oh. No main scene, yeah, of course. Cool. will select or label. Okay. Creating instances of a scene. Instancing scenes in the editor. Okay. In the previous part we saw that a scene is a collection of nodes organized in a tree structure with a single node as its root. You can split your project into any number of scenes. Sure. So break down and organize your game's different components. You can create as many scenes as you like and save them as files with scene. T-scene extension, which stands for text scene. Text scene file from the previous lesson was an example called as packed scenes. Information about the scene's content. It's an example of a ball. It's composed of a rigid body 2D node as its root named ball, which allows the ball to fall and bounce on walls. Sprite 2D node in a collision shape 2D. Okay. Once you have it, save the scene. It works as a blueprint. You can reproduce it in other scenes as many times as you like. Replicating an object from a template like this is called instancing. Oh. Instances scene behave like a node. In the editor has this content by default. When you instance the ball, you want to see the ball node as a unique name. Every instance of the ball scene starts with the same structure as the properties as ball that text scene. However, you can modify each independently, such as how they bounce, how heavy they are, many properties exposed by this source scene. Let's use instancing in practice to see how it works in Godot. I invite you to download the ball sample project we prepared for you. Sure. To import it, you need the project manager. Project manager is by opening Godot. Go open project, quit to projects list. Okay, let's save. Project, quit to project list. Or Control Shift Q. Okay. So in that sense, what we do? Okay, delete that. Ports. Imports. Yeah. Project contains two packed scenes. Main text scene. Main text scene contains walls against which indeed ball collides. Ball text scene, main scene should open automatically. Main okay. Yeah, 2D, but yeah. Ball as a child of the main node. So we have main. I need to stop doing shit myself. In the scene dock, select the main node. Then click the link icon. Add an instance of a scene as a child of the currently selected node. Indeed, click on it and drag it towards the center of the view. Like right here. F5. Let's save first. Wow. Yo, what the fuck? Fucking nailed it. Bro, I moved by a single pixel, literally. Wait, how did I do it here? I'm gonna break that game. It's unbreakable. Oh. Alright, cool. Okay, more instances. I did that. The ball is selected. Control D. Oh. Several in the scene. Sure. With this feature, you can change the properties of one ball without affecting the other using the inspector. So this one will be a special ball. Okay. Physics material. Rigid body 2D. Material. Right click. No, click on the physics material property to expand it. The physics material. Ball, rigid body 2D. Oh, physics material right here. Hey, set its bounce property to 0.5. Oh, this is really going to break everything. So stupid. Okay. Back to the main scene. Here we are. It's like one of the instance ball nodes. This one. It's gravity scale to 10. Yeah, if you modify the property in the original scene, the value overall will be preserved in the instance. Nice. Save scene. Much faster than the others. Oh shit! Oh yeah, it does. Values of the physics material of the ball. This is because physics material is a resource. It needs to be made unique before you can edit it in the scene. Yeah, make unique. Things in Godot are excellent design language. Could break down a shooter game like so. Stage. Instance by code. Was any type of game. Each rectangle represents an entity that is visible in the game from the player's perspective. The arrows point towards the initiator. Once you have a diagram, see for each element listed to develop a game. Using the at the code directly. Tree of scenes. Programmers tend to spend a lot of designing abstract architectures and trying to fit components into video. Designing based on scenes makes development faster and more straightforward, and used to focus on the game logic itself because what game components might relate to a scene. This here means you need visual or architectural code is an example of a scene diagram for an open world game with tons of assets and nested elements. Face, table, room, house, citadel, terrain, chair, room, door, house, seat, church, citadel, gorge, bridge, terrain, hood, player, terrain. It's a house which contains a room, which contains a table, which contains a vase. Oh, okay. Yeah. Also contains a church, and we can add something else to it. Yeah, okay. Once we started creating the room, we could make a couple of different room scenes. Which is in there, later we could make a house in the multiple room instances. For the interior, we could create a citadel on the main instance house in a large terrain on which we would place the citadel. This is really good. This is in create scenes representing guards and add them to the citadel that would be directly added to the overall game world. But it's easy to iterate on your game like this. It is to create an institution accessible to programmers, designers, and artists alike. The technical team development process can evolve to the 3D artists that were designing. This is pretty good. Logic from a blueprint has many uses. Gives you the ability to divide the game into components, a language to think about your game's project structure in a natural way. Nice. Go to 4.5 million edit. Okay. An overview of the available scripting languages in Godot. project will write your first script. Script attached to a node and extend its behavior. This means that script inherits a function node attached to. Yeah. Okay. For example, take a game where a camera 2D node follows the ship. The camera 2D node follows its parent by default. So it follows the ship. Imagine you want the camera to shake when the player takes damage. Since it's Godot, you would attach a script to the camera 2D node and code the shake. Yeah. GD script, C# in via GD extension technology is C and C++. Cool. You can use multiple languages in a single project. For instance, in a team, you can record gameplay logic in GD script. It's fast to write and use complex algorithms like pathfinding and stuff like that. Maximize the performance, and you can write everything in GD script. But C# is your calling. When start with GD script, we made this language specifically because in this game developers, it has lightweight and straightforward syntax and provides a tight integration with Godot. For C#, immature. Object-oriented imperative programming language. Simple syntax, short files, blazing fast compilation loading times, blazingly fast. Type editor integration and code completion or no signals and more information from the scene. It's attached to built-in vector and transform types, making it efficient for heavy use of linear algebra, most games. Efficiently as statistically typed languages, no garbage collection. This is good. Really? Actually, it gets in the way, yeah. References and manages the memory for you in most cases by default, but you can also control memory if you need to. Gradual typing. Graduals are dynamic types by default, okay, but you can also use types hints for strong type checks. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yo, this is good. It's like Python, it does. I just structure your code blocks using indentation, but it doesn't work the same way in practice. It's inspired by multiple languages called Screw, Lua, and Python. But I used Python. Really, then Lua, both languages integration took a lot of work and had severe limitations. Yeah, I bet. What about Lua though? Took us more work and we can tailor it for game developers' needs. We are now working on performance optimization for nice. .NET and C#. Get developers. C# is a mature and flexible language. Yeah. Really? We are next to a generous donation from Microsoft. Didn't? That's cool. I mean, I hate Microsoft, but that's cool. It's a good trade-off between performance and user use. Yeah. Indeed, you must use .NET edition of the Godot editor. The script in C#, you can download it. Yeah, I saw it. I don't have it. As fast as compile C# or C++, of course. However, most folks not. Yeah, this is what I'll do. I'll use the GD extension plugin and make algorithms in C++. Everything in C# is good for okay. Game code in C++ without needing to recompile Godot. The language or mixed compiler brands and versions for generating shared libraries and things to our internal C API bridge. GD extension available time. What time? 8. Oh damn, 9. Scripts are files containing code that you attach to a node to extend its functionality. Yes. For official scripting languages. Demanding algorithms. Yes. Nice. This is how you code your first script to make good icon turn circles. As I mentioned in the introduction, we assume you have programming foundation. Tutorial is written in GD scripts, and the equivalent C# code is included at the top of each code block for convenience. How much do you want to bet that the Microsoft donation didn't come with no strings attached? To learn more about GD scripts, is keyword. I repeat, how much they want to bet on that. Whatever. Clean state. Project. Wait. And we will use our dummy project because it has nothing in it, which we often use for prototyping in the community. Why do I have this picture? What the fuck? I mean, we have the label, but we just remove it, right? Cool. We need to create a sprite 2D node to display it in the game. In the scene doc, other node in sprite 2D. 8. Yeah. Sprite 2D. Yup. A sprite 2D node needs a texture to display. I can actually do it like this. Yep, I saw that in the manual. It says it here. Drag and drop. Okay, you can create sprite 2D nodes automatically by dragging and dropping. Click and drag the icon in the viewport to center it in the game view. Does it? Is there a way to center it? So how big is this? I guess. Surely there's a way to center it automatically. You're just not telling me how to do it. I want it centered, dude. I want it centered. 1152, 576. 648. 324. Come on. Here it is. Dead centered. Right, nice. And attach a new script. Well, no, right click on the sprite 2D and click attach script. The attached node scripts window appears. It allows you to select the scripts in language and file path among other options. Change the template field from default to object empty. What does it do? The peer with your new sprite 2D GD file opening following line of code. Extends sprite 2D. Indeed. Every GD script file is implicitly a class. The extends keyword defines the class. Inherits and extends. Okay, in this case, sprite 2D, meaning our script will get access to all the properties and functions of the sprite 2D node, including things like node 2D, canvas item, and node. That's nice. If you need the line with extending, simply extend ref counted. Caches memory. Any object that keeps a reference count. Okay. This class. Internal reference counters so that they are automatically released when no longer in use. Counters therefore do not need to be freed manually with object that free ref counted instance. Okay. Inherited properties include the ones you can see in the inspected dog icon nose texture. Yeah. Properties in title case. These properties are in snake case, which is lowercase, where it's separated by an underscore. It's identified in the code. Hello world. It currently doesn't do anything. Let's make it bring the text hello world to the output bottom panel. Okay. Let's make a func init returns void. Okay. Init print hello world. Let's break it down. Defines a new function in init. This is a special name for a class's constructor. The engine calls init on every object or node upon creating in memory. Okay, if you define this function. So it's like begin play. No, actually not begin play. In Unreal it's like event construct, on construct, or whatever the fuck it was. GDScript is an indent-based language. The tab at the start of the line. Yeah, it's indentation, it's like Python. Yeah, indented block expected. Save the scene as sprite 2D. And this hello world. Nice. Turning around, it's time to make our node move and rotate. To do so, we're going to add two member variables to our script: the movement speed in pixels per second, the angular speed in radians per second. Okay, two new variables. Var is how you declare. Okay, speed equals 400 var angular speed equals pi. Oh, they have pi. Okay. Sit near the top of the script after any member variable. Okay, yeah, global variable. Okay. For functions, every node instance of this script. Speed and angular speed properties. Angle isn't gonna work in radians by default, but you have built-in functional properties for you prefer calculating degrees instead. We need to update its position and rotation every frame in the game node. We can use the process virtual function of the node class. Okay, so hold on. Here it is. Meta description. Process. Call on each idle frame prior to rendering, after each physics tick has been processed. Delta is the time between frames in seconds. equivalent to node process. Yes, this one is the one of the node class, yeah. Column each idle frame prior to rendering. It is only called if processing is enabled for this node, which is done automatically if this method is overwritten. It can be toggled with set process. Processing happens in order of process priority. Lower priority values are called first. Nodes with the same priority are processed in reorder or top to bottom as seen in the editor, also known as pre-order traversal. Corresponds to notification process. Notification node. This method is only called if the node is present in the scene tree. It's not an orphan, okay. When the engine is struggling and the frame rate is lower, delta will increase, yeah. When that increase capped at maximum of engine time scale times steps per frame divided by engine physics ticks per second. As a result, accumulated delta may not represent real world time. When fixed FPS is enabled or the engine is running in movie maker mode, process delta will always be the same for every frame regardless of how much time the frame took to render. Post process by OS delta smoothing project. Okay. So to move our code, we need to update its position and rotation as a frame in the game loop. Is itself that transform no self is not self. Modify figures like 30 FPS and slower mobile devices. Vibration in frame render time. That's why give it the delta. Keywords defines a new function. After it, we have to write the function's name in argument. It takes in parentheses the definition and then internal blocks, and then process init starts with deleting. Underscore recommend Godot's virtual functions, that is to say built-in functions you can override to communicate with the engine, start with an underscore. Okay, the line inside the function rotation plus equals regular speed times delta. So rotations set rotation plus equals angular speed times delta. So wait, why does this work but set rotation doesn't? Rotation is a property inherited from class node 2D, which by 2D extends it controls the rotation of one node radians. In the code editor you can control click f6. Okay. So what if I do this? Wait, that's quick. Cool. Var velocity equals vector 2 dot up dot rotated rotation times speed. Position equals velocity times delta. Sick. That thing's zooming, bro. Okay. Function scope. We define a local variable named velocity, a 2D vector. Okay. I want to. So we have we have 2D vector so 2D vector representing both direction and speed. So we have direction and speed. To make the node move forward, we start from the vector 2D's class constant. Vector 2D up, a vector pointing up. So now we have a vector pointing up. And rotate it. And we rotate that by calling the rotated method that rotation, and we give it rotation. how can we give it rotation? What? It's a float. The speed is also a float. So speed is 400. What is our rotation? Plus equals angular speed times delta. So we got 3.14 3.14159. So I start knowing pi. Times delta. Which is delta. That equals rotation, which is a float. 100 times that. Velocity is just that times delta. Actually, I want to test it like this, see what it looks like. It was going a bit too fast. Because, yeah, okay, it's also the speed at which is okay. Position. Position encompasses rotation? Oh no, we're just setting the position. So if I do, how do you do? Okay. If I do this, it will just go up. Oh, okay, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Okay, cool. Using collision order currently moves by itself, next by listening to player input. Scripts. Yeah. I want VSync on. I'm doing device enable. Sorry. So adds another important feature of any game, giving control to the players. At this, we need to modify our sprite2d.gd code. The built-in input callbacks mainly unhandled input like process. It's a built-in virtual function that Godot calls every time. How long have I been learning for? An hour 40. I think it's time for a break. So I'll take a break now. Add tab to taskbar. What? No. Just look at new folder. Godot learning. Okay, cool. Save this. Close. Very good. I'm going to watch some videos now.